I think he has to stay
out
out there.
He does. The Jaguar curve. He's had to come into the pits.
That's
oh my goodness.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with the car, but I would have thought he would have had to go round and just hope that the car suddenly comes back. I think, okay, you're bringing it into the pits, but you're throwing away any chance now of winning the race. And indeed, with the BMW from the Row Racing team, number 98, as close as it is, it's going to be very difficult indeed for the Land Audi to keep itself ahead of that car. Didn't the Land Audi was very close indeed in one of the VLN races and lost it in the last hour of the race, or last half hour of the race, I think.
Engine cover is off. 1 hour and 29 minutes of the 24 hours remaining. The race leader has returned to the pits off the end of a short lap, which does not count on the Grand Prix circuit. Engine cover off, back on. He's been sent on his way again. He had a Control-Alt-Delete, a full lights off, power down, restart on the way out of the pit lane. They have lost the lead. They have lost second place as he came back out of the pit lane. He is shown as third on the road. Heartbreak and tears already in the Land Audi garage because the number 9 car has taken the lead, and into second, and there is the danger, is the 98 Rover Racing BMW.
Christopher Meese being, well, basically urged out of the garage. Christopher clearly very upset indeed. Just seen, there he goes, he's absolutely, they're inconsolable.
The drivers are sobbing on the bonnet of the dead number 28, their sister car, which is in the garage, because that is absolutely heartbreaking. 90 minutes from the end. Well, at least it wasn't on the last lap, they may say, in 15 years from now, but right now, that will be of little compensation.
Overnight, we were talking about just how much racing Christopher Meese does. He's there. This is the loneliest moment for a professional race driver, isn't it? And, well, Commodore Filippi is just distraught. Yeah. You know, John Hindhaugh just saying it into my left ear, these are professional race drivers. Tell me that they approach this coldly. Tell me that this doesn't matter. Tell me this isn't special. You know, the prospect of that result. And you know what? What an ideal moment to find out exactly what that means, because sitting down next to me is a man that knows all about the better part of that range of emotions. And we'll welcome back to the booth Alan Christodoulou. The gap between the two Audis is going to be almost precisely the length of the pit stop for the number 9. He launched just as the number 29 car crossed the pit speed limit line.
And we're still waiting for the Row Racing BMW to get on to the Duttinger Hoa.
Yeah, and he hasn't finished sector 4 yet, Paul. You're right. Laptop is plugged in to the 29 Land Audi. Let's just put that software in and turn it up a bit, I think. Is there a spinal tap setting for 11 for that car? Because if it is, it's just been uploaded. The car is down. The tyres are on. And, he's gone and stopped because they didn't have the fuel cap screwed back on. Can you believe it? And this is a disaster for Land. And this is exactly what they didn't need. As soon as it went down, the driver started going. And Van der Linde now has to wait for the fuel cap to go back on. And they're still not finished putting fuel in. It's a disaster.
Row Racing in Tiergarten, John.
They're going to lose second place here. They knew that was an issue. They haven't got enough fuel in. As soon as it hit the ground, Van der Linde dropped the clutch and it was gone. And here comes Row Racing across the line. And into second place, and still the 29 Audi, they're struggling with this fuel cap. They may have damaged it. It's going up and they're changing tyres. They're going to put wets on it. They're going to put wets on.
Pit straight, John.
This might, can you believe this? That fumble might have put them in with a shout here, because they've been able to make a change when 30 seconds before, when they should have been down and gone. Unbelievable. It's soaking out the back.
It's all they've got left, but could it be the right move?
Out the back. Left rear is the last tyre to go on. Go, 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 go. He's been waved out. And Kelvin van der Linde is heading out. It's raining on the pit lane now.
It's raining heavily on the pit lane.
Oh my goodness, the last roll of the dice. Mother Nature. Has Mother Nature decided this is the 29 cars race? And having wanted to slap somebody round the head for releasing the car so early, Are they now? There's a round of applause you can hear in the background from the guys in the pit lane. An immense call from Land Audi and more wet weather tyres for Michelin wet weather for Rover.
I have to say, John, it's all they had left.
Yeah.
That's all they could do at that stage because the race was gone at that point.
Yeah.
That was an awful pit stop from Land Motorsport.
Oh, just unbelievable. Could that be the fumble that has given them the opportunity? The 98 car in second place goes out onto the Hatson back. Graham Goodwin.
Well, John...
Slicks, first two, right, okay. First two are way past other cars at the moment because he's got the surety of groove tyres. Now, it's not a get out of jail free car. He's at the carousel. He's at the carousel now. He's gonna catch Katzberg before the end of the lap. He's going to catch Katzberg before the end of the lap, and then there's only another 90 seconds to the leader.
And there's not so many cars between them either, John. No. There's only 4 or 5 cars between Katzberg and Van der Linde.
Oh, my goodness. Drama piled upon drama. The race was gone 15 minutes ago. Oh, Rast's off. Rast's off. And that is at the Tiergarten. Is it? No, it's Brunchen, excuse me. Brunchen up to the ice curve. He was on the... how is he? Everybody just drifting around. The 19 BMW's been in the wall. Tom Onslow-Cole's got deranged right rear suspension, and the back end of that car is steering itself. Doesn't need that. Slippery surface flags are out all around the circuit now.
I'm watching the shot we've got, and is that the road racing car?
Oh my goodness me! Now they are not yellow flags. Tom Onslow-Cole crabbing the car down. He daren't overtake anybody, and Rast's right there. Rast goes past Onslow-Cole as the battle for second is now going the way of Van der Linde.
BMW's off.
The BMW off. Katzberg is off at Brunchen. Same spot of the circuit. The leader had a problem, so Rast is only 3 corners further on, and the race is coming back to land.
Unbelievable.
Hang on a second. Somebody pinch me and wake me up.
There will be
He's on the grass. He's on the grass.
That's not the 9. That's 17. That's a 17 car.
It's the 29 car on the grass.
Yes.
The 29 car now in second is on the grass, picking his way through. He's gone rally crossing to go by people who are struggling on slicks. Just has to keep it. Roughly speaking, do you know what? There's probably more grip on the grass at the moment than there is on the track.
One more lap at the end of this one, John. We've got one more lap at the end of this one.
Inside 10 minutes, one more lap at the end of this one. Well, what does the team do for Rennie Rast? A wall of cars ahead of Kelvin van der Linde. He's done brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly, flashing his lights, blue flags being waved by our fabulous marshals here.
Now he's clear.
He's clear now. But I tell you, he was on the grass there, all 4 wheels, and how he held on to that, I've no idea. The pass on the grass might win this race for the 2019. They were down, they were out, they were head in hands, they were crying, they were sobbing, they were inconsolable less than 40 minutes ago, and the leader is mired in traffic coming on to the Dottinger as the second place car comes out of the Kleiner carousel.
2 corners behind.
What do? Paul Truswell, team manager, do you pit Rennie Rast for wet tyres?
Yes, you have to pit Rennie Rast for wet tyres in these conditions. That would be my call, no question about it. Obviously, you're gonna leave leave Van der Linde out there. I don't know if Katzberg is actually going to get round. Is he?
Katzberg is staying driver's right. Excuse me, Van der Linde is staying driver's right. Katzberg is struggling mightily. He's already been off the circuit at Brunchen.
He's lost second place already, that's for sure.
He's got a half a chance of losing third here because remember the 42 BMW went on to wet weather tyres too. Now, drier part of the circuit.
Sector 4, 6 minutes and 8 seconds for Rennie Rast, 4 minutes and 21 seconds for Van der Linde.
Katzberg did 5:25.
Katzberg is catching Rennie Rast.
Yes.
Which is why Rast has to stop for tyres.
Well, has he come in?
He's
yes,
he's
in the pit lane now. He's got the 24th place, number 3, Jerome Moll.
What drama?
Sorry, the 3 Mercedes, and stand by, because after the drama, after the heartbreak, after the tears, the 29 car is back in the lead and starts what will be for him his last lap of the 2017 ADAC Zurich 24 hours, and the weather has taken away the chance of a win for the Rast car, the number 9 car, with grass, with dirt, with rubbish, all in the intakes, and the team will go to work. It doesn't need fuel, just bang a set of tyres on it and get him at now. Now the question is, how fast do you drive on the dry bits?
I'll tell her in the pits.
Is the leader coming through the final third of the 2017 race. Van der Linde over what will be slippery paint now. It's been dry, of course, all the way through the weekend. The usual graffiti painted on the track has probably not been so much of an issue. Now it's wet. The rubber debris will be making life difficult every time he turns the wheel and it has a little bit of an understeer. Etienne will be, Kelvin rather, will be thinking, oh, come on, grip, grip, grip.
The checkered flag is out. Cars coming across the line now are taking the checkered flag. Their race is over. But, of course, the winner has yet to take the checkered flag.
But he's not far off coming through. The big slide coming through onto Flansgarden. Really? You want to do that to your team?
He would be the first ever South African, in fact, first ever African winner of this race. Colin de Filippi would be only the second ever American winner of this race. It would be Christopher Meese's first Nurburgring 24 hours, I believe.
Right.
And it would be, I think, a third for Marcus Winkelhock.
Just unbelievable. Everybody going wild at the side of the track. The marshals, who've been outstanding, giving an ovation to the cars as they're coming through. They know what they've witnessed, something very, very special here, as have you, listening or watching. The compliments about the stream, very well received here by our technical partners, Vega. It's been rock solid, global, no geo-block, free, uninterrupted. Every single session that has been competitive has been online for you around the world. And this has paid off for Land in the end. A slight mistake has turned into an opportunity. The opportunity grabbed and delivered by Kelvin van der Linde, who has taken the ball, run with it, and made the hard yards at the end. He comes down the Donegal for the 158th, and final time will be 1 lap short of the distance record held by Phoenix Audi, set in 2014. The green, white and red Land Motorsport Audi. 2 corners to go. It's dry here now. The tyres will be worn. The 2 Team Thailand Gazoo Racing Ultimas are in team formation. The marshals know, the crowd knows, the man with the checkered flag knows, and Land Audi knows that they've won the 24 hours of the Nurburgring for 2017 in quite extraordinary circumstances. A team who were down, out and broken 45-50 minutes ago. Graham Goodwin.
Well, John, last year we saw 2 astonishing finishes, 2 astonishing final laps to 2 astonishing international 24-hour races. Well, here's another to add to the history books, because if you were here, if you were watching it, if you're watching on the stream, you will never forget the way that this race finished. Astounding stuff. These men here on the pit wall, these...
what emotions have they been through?
There's no tears left, absolutely right.
No, they are spent. They will not be able to lift a bottle of beer to the... No, hang on. No,
John,
sorry.
The inside of the Land garage is wetter than Flansgarden at the moment from the it really is, because it's absolutely astounding scenes. Again.
And the BMW Row Racing, brilliant reward for them, coming home in second place. I mean, they stuck to the
great last 2 laps.
They stuck to the task. They managed to get done what they needed to get done. And the play that I thought was going to go out with Rene Rast.
9 Audi, 42 BMW, first car off the podium. Then the number 1 Mercedes-Benz in 5th position.
Still waiting for number 50, the HTP Mercedes, which of course lost everything on the last lap last year, when at least they finished second. But the number 50 HTP Mercedes so far hasn't come through. I think everyone else who was going to has done.
Hashtag N24.
Nicky Katzberg probably looks quite happy to survive, but I don't know where the energy is coming from in Land Motorsport. They've gone to the bottom draw for a second wind, because none of these guys could even hold their heads up an hour ago.
Kelvin van der Linde still looks in a state of shock.
Oh, total and utter.
Well, he was there, Johnny, John, down in amongst this. We were just watching it. I'm feeling pretty frazzled by it.
on the top step of the podium and the national anthem of the winning manufacturer. One quick question from the Twitter sphere. Was there an official ranking for SP9 Pro-Am? I believe the 22 car, the 7th place Ferrari, was the leading Pro-Am car. Possibly. That car was classified.
I think you're probably right, John. I'm delighted by the way it made its way back into the top 10, which is where it deserved to be.
Yeah.
We just had the national anthem for the winning manufacturer. If we'd had a national anthem for the winning drivers, that would have been Alison Moyet's All Cried Out. Yeah. They are done. They are so going to have a massive hangover tomorrow.
And that, by the way, is a huge story in South Africa. That's going to be playing on the evening news tonight. Those last 2 laps. The heartbreak of Kelvin van der Linde breaking down, then nosing up the pit stop, then winning the race from 3rd position. Graham, that is going to make waves in the motorsport community and in South Africa tonight, in the same way as when Ricardo Gonzalez won in Silverstone and then won again in Mexico. That was national news as well in the WAC.
And who knows what ripples that might give us, John,
exactly
in the years to come.
point I was
for young talent coming forward and looking for a place to show it off. GT racing, endurance racing. That looks fun.
Well, there's a few of them in America. Well, driving Cadillacs.
There you go. Yeah. Conor de Felipe will be actually a story too in the endurance racing community for sure, and it's great to see him with a smile on his face.
And by the way, Jeremy Shaw, stand up and take a bow. Conor de Felipe, another Team USA alumni, and Jeremy keeps finding these extraordinarily talented young American road racers, brings them through the old-fashioned way in Formula Ford in the UK, bringing them to the Formula Ford Festival and the Walter Hayes Trophy. They know how to heel and toe, they know how to shift gears with a lever, and they're all good people and know how to talk and represent their brand and themselves very well.
Zero nonsense taken from day one, and that's why you produce racing drivers of this manner.
I don't know where David is. Can you ask David if he's happy to go with that?
The case.
Well, Treswella, final word from you.
You can only call that Aston Martin champion.
Oh, very good call. Very good call. It was very good indeed.
Yeah, champion the wonder horsepower.
Yeah. I've seen it. And I still sort of don't believe it, Graham. That's how I feel at the moment.
Yeah.
An hour from the end, I thought
that it will be Sir Roger, and as Vix was the first person to mention Roger when we mentioned #name that Aston, that we'll get in touch with you, Vix.